fellow Flosstubers, it's Patty here with episode 75. Today is September 23rd, 2019. On today's show, I have whips, I have a haul, and plans. So sit back and relax, grab your beverage of choice. Water for me. Your craft of choice, and let's chat. How was everybody's week? Mine was really good. The most major thing that happened was on Friday, the hubs and I celebrated our 33rd wedding anniversary. So he took me out to dinner. He gave me a really cute card. He always does, makes me cry, especially since I forgot to get him one. This was the first year that I have ever forgotten to give him a card. And boy, did I feel bad. I felt so bad when he handed it to me Friday morning because I can't just go and get him a card because I have little man, and little man decided to take a 5-hour nap, so there was no running to the store with little man to get a card either because he slept from like 10:30 until like 3:30. I mean, this kid slept the whole time. We barely got any playtime together, which was okay because by the time he went to sleep at 10:30, Grandma was ready for a nap. He was definitely ready for a nap. But I was really surprised. I kept going out and checking on him to make sure he was still with us, and he was. So it's like, wow, he was tired. His mommy said he had been up since 2. So yeah, he was definitely ready for a nap. Yeah, so I mean, that's about all that's been exciting that's happened. It is snowing up north, but not here in the interior, so that's very nice. My Alexa spot was telling me it was snowing on Saturday, and I would look out, no, it's not snowing, you're nuts. She was a little bit crazy on Saturday. But anyway, shall we get on with the stitching? I think so. So Mirror Monday for the month of September is Seaside Kingdom. I am using a 32 count doubloon by Picture This Plus. And let's see, oh, there. So I put some work into the windows, and sorry about the shadow. Of course, that's because I'm facing the window and the iPhone is right in front of me, so. But anyway, this is where I'm at. I'm very happy. I think that this Monday, or today, I'm going to see if I can move down and start working on the kids, because I want to work on the kids. I do. I want to work on the kids. So that's that. The next project that I worked on is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, and it's upside down. This is 40 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I know that I said that homework was going to be complicated last week. It wasn't. I just had to sit down and think about it, and so I did. I was able to use all of the homework on one piece, and in doing so I got 5 extra points. So you had to do stitch for either you thought it was a harder stitch or an easier stitch than what you thought. This was my first time using 40 count, so it was a little bit harder than what I thought. The other thing you had to do was find some wormwood, and in this grass section there's wormwood. You had to stitch on either gray or silver, so the tombstones are gray. You had to stitch on something that you like the smell of, so I did pumpkins for pumpkin pie. And then you had to stitch on something that you learned. I learned that I liked 40 count on this project, so I did some more of his pants. So let's come back here. And this is what I accomplished for the homework last week. I am very, very happy with that. Okay. And this took me like 2 days to do, so. Because they were 200 stitches each on all of that. So I got 1,000 stitches done. It doesn't even look like I did 1,000 stitches on that project. It is huge. Oh well. So Then I pulled out Cricut Collection, Cross-Eyed Cricut Skeleton Crew. And this is just on a 32 count, and I can't remember, and I keep thinking I'm going to find it. I haven't been able to find what this is, but it's 32 count, and it's by Zweigart because it's got the purple or the orange line on it. So here it is. I got the bottom ghost sail done. So that's exciting because he is 38.65, and there is 4 skeins of 38.65 in here, and then there's skeins of white as well. So yeah, I may be changing the bones of the skeletons to like a very light gray, just so that there's not so much white, because yeah, lots of white in that project. And then I decided to work on my chatelaine. So this is the Chatelaine Medieval Town Mandala. Oh goodness. And this is just on 32 count Zweigart that I got from Cindy at European Cross Stitch. So it's this way. Okay, so I finished this corner piece, and as I did it, I realized that I put some of the stitches over where beads are supposed to be, so I may have to, I'll just put beads over top of where they're supposed to be. I just have to remember to do that when I do the rest of the pattern. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Right? Yeah. I enjoy my chatelaines though. So, and that was what I did on Saturday night. So Sunday, of course, is Santa Sunday. And I pulled out Up on a Rooftop, charted by Tilton Crafts. And I'm using a 25 count easy guide. Lagana. So that's where that's at. So I was able to do another diagonal blocks. So I put in that diagonal. So I have just this, don't have too much more of that diagonal to do. And I'm very, very excited on how that is turning out. And then after I accomplished getting that section done, I decided I didn't want to stitch on that anymore, so I pulled out Prairie Schooler Trick or Treat. And this one is on a 36 count. Winterwood by Zweigart, sorry. And this is where I'm at on that. So I did the owl, I finished this tree, and I started working on that tree. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put the words on the bottom. The trick or treat, I may just skip that. Just finish that up. I'd like to get that finished next month. That would be nice. That would be very nice. So that is all I stitched on last week. Homework for this week. I had it here on the screen. Let me get it back up here. Is the Quidditch tryouts. So I'm not sure about this one because, sorry, you have to do 500 stitches on the position you want. The second choice is 4. The third and fourth are 200. So you have to do, the first one is keeper. So you have to do something that are rings and that are left empty. So it's like an actual ring or a letter O. So I could do Prairie Schooler ABC's the letter O. I have to think about that. The seeker is the stitch your most sought out pattern or most difficult to come by pattern. And explain your choice. This can be one you saw and just immediately had to buy, or one you saw and had to track down due to availability circumstances. Actually, that would work. I could figure that one out. The beater is blungers and bats, so you have to do something with the letter B. It either could be the designer's first or last name, the company's first word, or the design title, excluding a, an, and the. And then chaser. You have to stitch something with a girl, woman, human face. It can be her dress, face, or shoes, but it must be on the character. So I could figure that one out too. So, and then there's an extra 200 stitches if someone else in the group is stitching it. So it's like if someone else is stitching a memorabilia, you could stitch 200 and use their name and get an extra points. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, because I just thought of the patterns that I could use that I've already started for the Seeger, but I'm not sure if I want to. I'm getting kind of burnt out, just a little bit burnt out on stitching all that, so I'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Okay, so shall we go into purchases? Because there was purchasing. Okay, so the first thing I picked up, as I always try to get needles every once in a while, so I really like Mill Hill's applique beading needles because they are so small that they're really easy to stitch with, to put beads on, and I like that. So I have 2 outstanding patterns from Sassy Jacks. So I already have fabric for one of them, but I had to pick up another one. So here is the fabric for that when it gets here. So this is just a 36 count cream ivory Edinburgh linen. And I am switching to 36 count and 32 count because those are my 2 favorites. Okay, so Fright Night I picked up from Gecko Rouge a couple of years ago, just the PDF. So I needed to buy some fabric for it. And since I like 25 count Easy Guide, I went ahead and got a piece of 25 count Easy Guide for it. And then I picked up 2 patterns from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. So the order came from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, the rest of this. So I was able to get Night Walked Down by the Blue Flower. As soon as it came back in stock, I hit that buy button. And I picked up 36 count Smoke Blue instead of it calls for Shrinking Violet. So, but I picked this up instead. So I think that'll look nice. And I'm just gonna pull colors because she has the DMC numbers over here. So I'll probably use DMC or look through my stash of thread that I have over there and just do that when I get to this one. And then, yeah, I put them in the bags because they would just be easier to have for the bags. So the other pattern that I picked up is Cricket Collection, Cross-Eyed Cricket, the Wicked Patch. And I think this will look really cute with the playing with jacks. So I got that. It calls for 2 silken colors, and I was only able to find one of the silken colors, so I went ahead and picked that up. So this is Acorn Woods. And I am substituting for Autumn Bouquet. I'm substituting 4511 from DMC because it has that same color. This might be a little bit brighter, but that should be okay. And then it called for Chartreuse Krennic, so I picked that up too. And the fabric I'm going to stitch this on is 32 count Vintage Sahara Belfast. So there's that. I think that'll look really cute on that. So there we go. It's not too big of, it's not too big, so that's going to be 6 by 7, so that's not too bad. Be a nice small one that I can put on my wall. And then I decided to kit up the Quaker Halloween sampler that I showed you guys last week from Cherished Stitches. So Cherished Stitches, I got the purple tones of that one. So I picked up all of the floss and a piece of fabric, but one of the flosses is on back order, and they should be sending that to me on October 4th, somewhere around there. So the fabric I'm going to be using is a 36 count light mocha. So see, I think it'll be good. And then I picked up, of course, all the called for thread. So it calls for 3 NPI silks in the lilac range. So nice deep purple. Calls for 2 silken colored Concord grape. It's pretty. 1 Gloriana Halloween green, acid green, nice. And then 1 NPI silk black. So this is what this is going to look like. And the color that is missing is a crescent color Belsoir in the purple paradise. So I'll show you guys that when that comes, but that's what it's going to look like. So I'm very excited for that to be worked on. I can't wait. So that was the haul. I do have, like I said, an outstanding order from Sassy Jacks, and I also ordered a book from Amazon, and that should be here tomorrow, so that's exciting. And yeah, so exciting, so happy. So, okay, we talked about homework plans, but I thought maybe, let's see, 16 minutes? Maybe I'll hold off on dark October stitching plans until next week, because it is Monday's the 30th, so I'll come and see you next week. And we can talk about dark October stitching, and hopefully my 2 outstanding orders will be here. That would be nice. So, looking around, I really don't have anything else to talk to you about. I haven't spun again, and I didn't do enough knitting to show you, so yeah, that's where that's at. So I hope that everybody has a great week, and I hope that whatever you stitch it to your heart's content, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.